pulled in here to have lunch. This is Glenorchy Jetty and I've photographed here a few times. Now normally blue skies like this, it's pretty flat light. It's not really that good for colour photography. So we had some lunch and then I grabbed the infrared camera. So this camera's been converted to infrared, which shoots an infrared version of black and white. It's absolutely amazing. So I thought I'd have a bit of a crack at that, and I wasn't sure what I was going to get. Infrared's always a bit of a mixed bag. It's a real learning process. I'm finding it's a lot of times it's just shoot and see what you get. You're never quite sure what's going to happen. The problem I knew I was going to have here is that I know that the sky is going to go black. I know the water's going to go really dark, but I wasn't sure what was going to happen to these poles, whether they were going to stand out or not. So I took a couple of shots first, and that was the problem, was that the water was all completely black and the poles are lost. So what's really saved me with this shot is this graduated filter here. So this one's it's called a horizon filter, and to be honest, I've really hardly ever used it. I haven't had a lot of use for it, but my thinking was, okay, if the water's going to go black, the sky's going to go black, then what I really need to control is the mountain with the snow on it. And what happens in infrared is that the bottom part of that mountain, all the green foliage, is going to go to a much lighter tone. So my theory was if I place this into the mountain, it'll tone that down and then allow me to get more exposure into the water. Now, I've also added a 6-stop ND because I want to shoot a long exposure, because my other theory or thinking behind the shot, and I know this with long exposures, what happens is you shoot a long 20-30 second exposure. And what happens with this light, you can see the light sort of shimmering on the water, is that gets picked up and it gets recorded as a lighter tone. So I was hoping, if I place this in there, it'll darken that down, allow me to get 20-30 second exposure, and then hopefully, hopefully fingers crossed, then what would happen is the jetty stands out in the water, and it did it. This is just blowing me away. This filter is just really saved my life with this shot. So I placed that down, and then it's darkening this middle area off, and even now I can see the light reflecting in the water. The other issue you have with infrared is you can't shoot stop down, so that means you can't close your aperture right down because you get a lot of flares. You get a flare in the center, so you've got to use a fairly open aperture, which restricts your depth of field. It also means, because you're letting more light in, you need a stronger ND to create a long exposure. Now just check, this might actually be a 10-stop. No, it is a 6-stop. So the 6-stop is allowing me a 20-second exposure. And so what I've done is I've preset the focus, because this camera's having so much trouble seeing through these filters when so much of the picture's going black. Now the other issue I did have was, because so much of it was going black, the light meter was just completely wrong. So I've taken a bit of a test shot first and then see where everything's laying, and then I've gone to a full manual mode and set the exposure via that. So let's just shoot this off. So I'm 200 ISO, f6.4, 20 seconds, and we'll see what we get. There you go, I'm going to shoot here a bit more because I'm loving this. And we're coming back through here tomorrow, and tomorrow we're supposed to get a bit more cloud cover, a bit of rain and some cloud cover. So hopefully I get to shoot this location again. So we nearly didn't come into the Wanaka tree. We saw it yesterday and it's high and dry, and you know, I've got quite a few pictures of it, and I thought, oh, I won't bother. But we got up this morning and it was foggy, so I thought, well, we better go have a look because it could be pretty interesting. And damn, it is, it's so good. I've taken some shots down there sort of close up, which looked really good. And then I've come back into these trees, into this treed area, and I'm sort of framing the Wanaka tree, and I'm absolutely loving it because it makes it look so small and so insignificant. It's quite different. So yeah, it's nice to come to a place that you've shot a lot. You know, it's certainly an icon that gets photographed to death, but to actually have conditions that, I think it's the conditions that force you to look at it a little bit differently, and it's certainly allowing me to be hugely creative with this subject. So yeah, this is good, I'm loving it. We've had the most incredible day. We've been shooting glaciers and snowy mountains. It's been absolutely stunning. So this morning, Tasman Glacier at Tasman Lake, and then this afternoon we walked out to Hooker Valley and we did a little lake there. That was pretty good. And then we've walked back, we sort of timed our walk, so the end of our walk, because it's an hour and a half in, hour and a half back out, that somewhere at the end of the walk we'd be able to do a bit of a sunset shoot. So we clambered down. It's a bit of an effort to get down onto this part of the river, but well worth it. You can see the light. The light is just stunning now. It actually cleared, it clouded over, so most of the afternoon was very clear, like full blue skies, and then the cloud just started sort of appearing slowly. So now it's looking pretty good. I think we're about 20 minutes off actual sunset, though the sun has gone behind, well and truly behind that hill. But now it's just a bit of a wait and see what happens. Even if it doesn't get better than this, I'm pretty happy with what I've shot so far. Unbelievable light. We had a bit of colour earlier on and then it backed off and we nearly packed up and went, and then we just hung around a bit longer, and then the colour actually started slowly coming over the hill. It's amazing. And now when I thought the light was pretty much gone, it was kicked a little more, so it's been an amazing day.